Hi, my name is Rachel Camp, and this is my video submission for the Assistive Technology Device Modification Project. The first one I'll describe is my communication device. I have created and attached it to a clipboard. It's called an I Am Working For board. So this is a way for my student with autism to be able to communicate what they're working for, because sometimes that is a struggle for them to understand. So this helps them to be able to communicate through visual symbols what they're working for. So for example, I would provide a choice board before we start our group rotations, and hypothetically these would be choices that I know that the student prefers. So for this project I did just pick some basic ones that I use with my class, but depending on the student I would have choices that I know that they would want to work for. So I would provide them with this board, and these are the 3 group rotations, the blue table, the red table, and the green table. So before I start, the student would say, choose stickers, for example. So they're working for stickers. So I would show them this choice board, and they would get to choose their preference, and then they would put it on their I'm Working For boards. And then as the completes each group rotation, for example, the blue table, myself or an instructional assistant, depending on who's at the blue table, would provide them with this clip after they've completed their work at that table and after their behavior and work were both completed. So he or she would receive the blue clip. Then they would go to the next table rotation, and if their behavior and work is completed and the way it should be, then they would receive the red, and so on with the green. Once they receive their 3 clips, then that is my way of communicating with them that my expectations for them have been met, and therefore they get what they chose to work for. So it's their way of communicating what they want, and it's my way of communicating with them what I expect. And after weeks of practice, this actually works really well with students with autism. So this is a great communication device for a nonverbal student, or even a student that just has basic words but has struggles with expressing their communication needs, for wants and needs. So this is my communication device. Okay, and so obviously this would not be needed for a student that was verbal. Okay, so because they would be able to verbally express their wants and needs. So this being modified would be not needed if the student was verbal. So I would use this with a student with more severe communication needs. The next modification would be for the academic piece. I chose to make an adapted book for the letter D. These work really good with students with autism, especially nonverbal or student with few words. So they go through, this would be like a letter of the week, and this book is their way of communicating that they know how to match the pictures for the beginning sounds of D. So they may not be able to read the book, but as I'm reading through there, they're able to match the picture, so I know they're able to identify the words that begin with the letter D. So I'll go through a couple of pages. We would open the book, and this could be one-on-one instruction with an instructional assistant or myself. For example, D is for dog. So I would read that to them, and then they would be able to match dog. They would take off the Velcro piece and they would match. And we would flip. D is for dime. Again, they would choose and they would match. And we go through the book, and I'm reading the words. D is for, and whatever the picture is. And this is just a great way for them to match pictures, but also so I know that they know the words that begin with D. So this is an adapted book, great for students with autism, especially students that have trouble communicating. It's just a great way for them to be able to show what they know, even though they may not be able to do that verbally. So, and I do these for all of the letters, but this is just one example for an academic modification. We just grab and match. And then at the end, it just goes through all of the different D words. So this is great, a great academic piece, and obviously this would not be needed for a student that is able to read, so it would, be useless if the student could read. So I would use this with a more low functioning student. So this is my academic modification. And the last one is life skills. So I chose to do a silverware sort. So I would provide the student with this silverware sorting tray. And inside you can see I've labeled forks, spoons, and knives. So this is a visual for the student to be able to see where the forks go, the spoons go, and the knives go. I would then provide them with a basket of those utensils and also a visual on the basket so they know that they're going to be sorting. So this is really a great life skill because all of us sort silverware at home when we're putting up our dishes. So they would open this up, and after a little bit of practice they would be able to know spoons here, forks here, and knives here. They would go through and sort all of the utensils. Okay, so this assistive technology piece would be the label, providing the labels. Obviously a student that knew how to do that would not need that. So these visuals would be useless for a student that already knew how to do this task. So this just provides them with visuals to know how to sort, so then later on at home, hopefully, or they could even do this at home, they would be able to sort them correctly. Great life skill that we all need. Another way you could modify this would be by color. You could provide them with colored silverware and maybe put all of the red spoons in one, all of the green spoons in one. But for this project, I chose to just break it up by the utensils. So forks, spoons, and knives. So they would be provided with this box with a visual, and then visuals inside the silverware sorting tray. Great for students with autism, great life skill to know. Okay, so these were my 3 modification devices. Again, I have my communication board. Great for communicating their wants and working for what they want and being able to visually see it. The academic adapted book, that's my academic device. And then the life skills sorting tray with visuals. Thank you.